On this episode of Living in Fargo, North Dakota, we are going to discuss a topic that is a bit of a concern for a lot of people who are moving into or around our community, and that is the fact that Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo's population is growing. It has been doing that for a while now, but we're definitely starting to feel it with our school sizes and class sizes growing, needing more elementary schools and housing to accommodate the larger population, feeling like the new construction sometimes feels like homes are being built right on top of each other. Now, some of you are maybe wanting to escape this, which is a natural feeling, looking out to the surrounding communities around Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo. But something to think about with that is our harsh and extreme, sometimes, winters. If you are in a community that's a distance away from Fargo, Moorhead, or West Fargo, not directly connected, there's a good chance you will run into some hard driving weather. That would be snow blowing across these open fields, across the roads, which would put a lot of ice on the roads and make it maybe a little difficult to get into town for work, school, play, all the things. So, to combat these issues, we have two really great options, and they're touching all of the cities, Moorhead, West Fargo, and Fargo, and those options are Horace, North Dakota, and Dilworth, Minnesota, and we are going to cover them right now. First time to the channel, hit subscribe and tap the bell for notifications so you're the first to know of all things going on in and around Fargo, North Dakota. I'm Megan Oy, and every day I talk to people just like you. So whether you're 9 days, 90 days, or 9 months from your move to or around Fargo, North Dakota, I'm here to help make that a smooth transition. All of my contact information is listed in the description. Feel free to reach out to me in whatever way is comfortable for you, and we'll make sure that your home search or your move to or around Fargo, North Dakota is a successful one. Now, let's start talking about Horace, North Dakota.
Okay, to get started, we've got a bit of a bird's eye view of Fargo right here, Fargo, Moorhead, which is touching Fargo to the east, and then West Fargo, of course, is to the west of Fargo, and everything that we see here that's kind of the white color is going to be the developed areas of these three cities. So then when we move down to the south, you will see Horace, which is surrounded by this red dotted line here. So Horace has seen incredible growth in the recent years, with new housing developments popping up all over town. In fact, it's one of the fastest growing cities in the state of North Dakota, which has made it a popular choice for families, young professionals, and anyone who really wants more space without losing access to city life in Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead. Now, of course, this is something that is kind of opposing the fact that we want to talk about places to get away from the growth and the high population, but keep in mind that Horace still, as of 2022, only has a little over 4,200 residents. So 4,200 is really not that many, and I don't anticipating it growing exponentially more right away. We've got time. The community in here is close-knit and welcoming. It's a mix of new residents and longtime locals, so whether you're moving into one of the brand new developments in town or maybe a more established neighborhood, you are sure to feel right at home. So Horace's location, it offers really a perfect blend of that rural tranquility that we're looking for, but then close access to that bigger city convenience. So you can enjoy that peace and quiet of a small town, but also stay connected to everything that Fargo and West Fargo and Moorhead have to offer. The main way you get in and out of Horace in our community here is on this 170th Avenue. You see that goes directly through the center of Horace, and then it goes into West Fargo and then brings you all the way up to I-94, which is going to be your interstate access to go east and west out of North Dakota. Whereas another way to get out of town here is 100th Avenue. That will bring you directly to I-29, which will take you north into Canada or south down into South Dakota. Something to keep in mind with 100th Avenue is what we were speaking of earlier. You see a lot of open green space leading up to the interstate, which of course also has a lot of open space around it, making travel sort of difficult on those really wintry, blowy days. It's going to be hard to see on that road. It's going to be very slippery on those specific days where the weather is not super favorable, which isn't that frequently, but it's something to just be aware of. If you're going to live in that community, there are going to be days you don't want to take that road. It won't be the safest route. I-29 is the same deal. There's a lot of times where they'll close off I-29, maybe to the North Dakota border or somewhere from North Dakota border into South Dakota. The roads just get icy and windy in the winter, and sometimes we just have to take those extra safety precautions, which are sort of inconvenient, but obviously worth the safety factor. So just something to keep in mind there. Moving on, one of the big draws for the city of Horace is the school system. So Horace is part of the West Fargo Public School District, which is actually one of the best in the region. The district has been expanding to accommodate the town's rapid growth, and they've recently opened a brand new high school in Horace, and I believe it was around 2020, they also opened a middle school right in Horace. So now Horace has their elementary, middle, and high school all within these city limits, which is incredible. Some West Fargo students will attend some of the Horace schools. They are zoned in the Horace School District, but it's really not that big of a portion of those West Fargo students. Horace Elementary this year, I believe, so 2024, it said they service around 443 students total. So that's kindergarten through 5th grade. And then Heritage Middle School, that would be 6th through 8th grade, had approximately 757 students, whereas Horace High School, also known as the Horace Hawks, had around 674 students. And of course, that is 9th through 12th grade. So those numbers might sound big, but if you're comparing it to the West Fargo High Schools, West Fargo High School and Cheyenne High School, both in West Fargo, they both had over 1,300 students. And then the middle school was hovering or both middle schools were hovering right around 1,000 students. So you do get that smaller school feel, smaller classroom sizes in the city of Horace, which is a benefit, or most people see that as a benefit. Horace schools are known for their strong academics. They have great extracurriculum programs from athletics, music, and the arts. And then with the addition of that high school, the middle school, students can now stay closer to their homes for their entire education. So from elementary through high school, which is something they had been missing. So definitely a benefit. And obviously having those newer schools is super exciting for the community. Hearing the football games on a Friday night, it builds community within the city of Horace. Moving on to some other amenities and things that Horace has. So even though Horace is a small town, they still have plenty of things to do. The town has several parks and outdoor spaces. One in particular we'll discuss here is Meadowlark Park. So that is located in the Lost River development, which we'll talk about a little bit, but it has a lot of amenities within that park. So they have a lighted hockey rink and skating pad. They've got a warming house. We need those things here with our winters to be able to be outside in the winter and do some things. They've got picnic shelters, junior soccer field, youth baseball and softball fields, and they also have maintenance and concessions out there for that. Pickleball courts, basketball courts, connected multi-use paths for kind of running throughout the area, and they've got the gazebo there. So it is put there to really establish an active community for families and individuals alike. Horace is trying to step up their game, it seems, for their parks, which is really great to see. As the town grows, more and more amenities are being added. There are local cafes, shops, and even some newer dining options right in town, like the Headquarters Sports Bar and Restaurant, the Grove Coffee and Wine, and then the infamous Big Irv's. That is a bar and grill, and it's been there forever. I guess I don't know how long it's been there, but If you're from the area at all, you know about Big Herbs in Horace. And if you're looking for something maybe just a little more notable, something you'd recognize from other places in the country, they also have a Dairy Queen, kind of something every community needs at this point. But they do have a salon, they've got daycare centers for options, they've got Casey's gas station, and other businesses right on this main 170th Avenue when you're coming in and out of Horace. One thing they are still missing, though, is a grocery store. I'm hoping that's coming. I've heard rumors that it is, but that is something that community would really benefit from. Of course, you know, for that or for anything that you feel you're missing, it really is just a quick drive from the shopping and restaurants and entertainment in Fargo. So that location comes back into play where you've got the small town feel, but anything else you may need, you're not too far from it. The Horace Community Center is also a big thing. It hosts a variety of events throughout the year, from holiday celebrations to community meetings. And if you're a fan of the outdoors, you will love the nearby access to biking trails and even hunting and fishing spots just outside of town. Okay, moving on to housing. So there are currently 133 homes on the market in the city of Horace. And now the prices range on these homes starting at $262,000 up to over $1.2 million. Now, 133 homes on the market, 106 of these homes are new construction or related to new construction. So there's 40 homes that are on the market that are completed new construction. You could buy it and move in. There are 23 that are currently under construction and 43 that are listed as to be built. And what that means really is just it's an idea at this point, or they're planning to build it. But right now, if you drove by, it's a lot. Nothing, no digging, nothing's going on. Permits likely haven't been pulled, that sort of thing. New construction is a really big thing in the city of Horace. As I said, they're growing quickly and they plan to do a little more growth yet. New developments like Lost River, Southdale Farms, Maple Lake Estates, Lakeview, Terra Gardens, Cub Creek, they're popping up all over the city of Horace, and I do think that it is a good thing for the community. You do have special assessments in the city of Horace, and we've talked about those on other videos. It really is an additional charge that comes along with owning a property really within a 45-mile radius of Fargo, North Dakota, and you will see a bigger balance on these things in new construction homes. But something nice that they do in the city of Horace is they offer a new construction tax abatement. So what that does is it takes $150,000 off of the true value of your home for figuring real estate property taxes for 2 years. So the first 2 years that your home is fully assessed, fully tax assessed, you will get essentially a lower tax payment for those first 2 years, which will hopefully help make up for a little bit of the pain with paying for those additional special assessments that come with new construction. After that 2-year period, you will notice your monthly payment will go up because your bank will notice that the tax abatement is done and everything they've escrowed for to pay your taxes and specials every year. They'll have to start doing the full amount based on your full value of your home after the 2-year abatement time. All of those 106 new construction homes out of the 133 that are on the market, there are 27 existing homes on the market. That would mean, anything that isn't brand new. So that's a quick look at Horace, North Dakota. Whether you're thinking of moving here or just curious about what's nearby Fargo, Horace has a lot to offer. It's a town that's growing fast, but still holds on to its small town charm. If you enjoyed learning about Horace, you may also enjoy very much learning about Dilworth, which is on the Minnesota side of the river, and we're hopping into it now. Okay, so now we are looking over top of the city of Horace. Again, so you can see where we're at, we are going to move up north and to the east, where you will see Dilworth surrounded now by the red dots. So you'll see that Dilworth flows seamlessly into the city of Moorhead. If you were driving through this area, going from Moorhead into Dilworth, you would not know really where Dilworth starts and Moorhead ends unless somebody told you, in my opinion. I think I was confused on it actually for my first however many years living here, so you can't tell the difference between the two right away. But Dilworth is another small but growing city located obviously just minutes from downtown Fargo. It has a population of around 4,800 people, which makes it slightly larger than Horace. And the perfect blend of small town living with access to the bigger city amenities nearby. And as part of the Fargo Moorhead Metro, it offers the quieter, more laid-back atmosphere while staying connected to the hustle and bustle of Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo. The community in Dilworth is more tight-knit. They're very friendly. Most people there know their neighbors, and it's kind of a place where you'll see a friendly face at the store or at the local shops every day. Many families live there because of the excellent schools, and it's a great place for anyone who's looking to live in a more quiet neighborhood with a small town vibe. Despite its smaller size, though, Dilworth has been experiencing steady growth, just like every other place in our community over the last few years, but it's more so thanks to its affordable housing and close proximity to Fargo without being in Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo. One of the great things about Dilworth is how easy it is to get to and from different things. We're minutes from downtown Fargo here and really not far from I-94, which takes us again east and west out of the area, and then I-29 up here takes us north and south. But the most convenient part about Dilworth is the obvious part here, that it is located right along Highway 10. Highway 10 gives us access into Lakes Country. So from here, we are probably just about 20 minutes from the beginning of Lakes Country, which you will see popping up there. You'll also see Glendon here, which we'll talk about a little bit, but we have great proximity to Buffalo State Park right over here where we can go camping and hiking and go swimming in the Buffalo River. So that is a nice little area. So whether you work in Fargo, Moorhead, or anywhere in the area, Dilworth's location makes it easy to get to where you need to go just in a few minutes. And you also get the peace and quiet of small town life, but you're not far from all the action. One of the biggest reasons families move to Dilworth is for the schools. Dilworth is part of the Dilworth, Glendon, like I had mentioned, Felton School District, so DGF is what we call it. The district serves not just Dilworth, but also Glendon and Felton, which are nearby towns. DGF schools are well regarded for their strong academics and extracurricular programs. The district has elementary, middle, and high schools, and they're known for their smaller class sizes, which allows for more individualized attention for students. The community takes a lot of pride in the schools, and it's a big part of why Dilworth is a popular place for young families. DGF has growing K-12 enrollment, and they're at about 1,300 students, I believe, total this year, including over 200 students that have open enrolled from other districts. Now, Minnesota is an open enrollment state, which means their public school choice options allow for students and parents to have access to schools that are not within their resident district, which is great. North Dakota actually is an open enrollment state as well. They both have different policies. I honestly didn't find anything on how many students open enroll into Horace, so that would be interesting to find out, but I don't know. I did find this one out about DGF, and I believe it. I do know a lot of people, especially in Moorhead, that do open enroll their students into DGF because it is a smaller school size. Moorhead School is significantly larger, so it's just something to be aware of and know that it is an option for you. Dilworth is home to the elementary school, so that is right within the city limits of Dilworth here, DGF Elementary School, whereas the middle school and the high school, all of that is going to be in Glendon, which again is just a very short drive down Highway 10. Now, let's talk about what there is to do in Dilworth. While it may be a small town, there's still plenty of amenities for the residents and visitors. Dilworth has 11 public parks and recreational areas like Whistle Stop Park, which you can see right off of Highway 10. That also has the depot there that can be rented out for baby shower or whatever it is that you want to do there. Kind of a cool spot. For shopping, the town has a variety of local businesses, including some more well-known things like a Walmart. They also have a Boys and Girls Ranch thrift store if you are into thrifting, like my grandmother. She is a bit of a thrifting addict, but I love you, Grandma. Sorry to call you out like that. But good options for shopping there. And then for restaurants, we're obviously a really short drive from everything in Moorhead, and then not too far from the restaurants in Fargo and West Fargo as well. So you're really not limited at all. But if you wanted to stay within Dilworth, they have the Red Hen Tap House and the Hi Ho, which has the best burgers. You have to go there. They actually have a location in South Fargo now as well, but Dilworth is the original spot for it. Oh, it's really good. And then, of course, like all the small towns in our country, there is a Dairy Queen. Never missing a Dairy Queen. But my favorite spot in Dilworth now is a little bit newer, and it is the shops that are at the Rail District, which is a newer area of town that is so incredibly charming. They have the Roasted Rail Coffee Shop, the Silver Spike Bar and Grill, West Main Pizza, the Collective Salon and Spa, Nygaard Nursery with the most beautiful plants, trees, and flowers, Butcher Block Meats, and Deli, and other cute shops in that area. It's a kind of place where they have music playing outside the shops so that you're just feeling like you're completely consumed by being in the community, and it's just honestly a really cool place. It has a really great small town vibe to it, and if you're even just going through Dilworth, you should stop through that area and check that place out. Another thing in Dilworth is their community center. It's a hub for events and activities. They host everything from sports leagues to social gatherings. And then if you're a fan of outdoor recreation, again, we are so close to the lakes and some of those bigger national parks, or excuse me, state parks, not national, state parks, and then obviously not too far from the Red River. Biking and walking trails, lots to do there. Into housing, there is not as much new construction going on in Dilworth. It is really more of a established area than Horace has been with all of their new development. You will see some new construction happening by this rail district area that I had mentioned, but ultimately there are only 13 homes on the market right now in Dilworth. So we went from 133 in Horace to 13 in Dilworth. Now, 6 of those 13 are new construction, 5 were completed new construction, and then 1 is a to-be-built under construction kind of scenario. The rest are existing homes. Price ranges of homes on the market here right now are ranging from about $150,000 to just under $500,000. So when I said that the housing is affordable, that is what I meant. We were looking in Horace where homes were going up over $1.2 million, and we're starting, at about $250,000 there, I believe is where we were at. So something to keep in mind when you're looking at the two locations. Of course, Dilworth and Horace, their biggest difference is the fact that they're in 2 different states. So you're going to want to look into the tax benefits of being in North Dakota versus Minnesota. I can certainly help you with those questions. There are tax benefits to being in North Dakota versus Minnesota. If you know anything about these areas, you do know that. But ultimately, those 2 locations for small towns touching the FM area are really great options. They both offer really great small community feels, smaller school district sizes. Overall, they're both really good options. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know what questions you have in the comments, and let's get you moved to or around Fargo, North Dakota, or into Horace, or into Dilworth. Definitely reach out to me with any questions, and I will see you on the next one.